Man, we're going from bad boys for life to bad boys getting life. What the heck is going on with Diddy? His homes on both coasts have been raided in connection to a federal investigation. Like the last time that we checked in with this stuff, at least on my end, I've been paying attention to some of this stuff in the periphery, but Diddy was settling with a couple of exes in order to keep some secrets, some strange behavior under wraps is about the nicest way I can put it this early into the video. But then with the stuff that Cat Williams has been saying, that Meek Mill put out into the world, the whole veneer, the bloom off of the Puff Daddy rose really fell off, and in fact hit rock bottom yesterday when DHS decided to play Nicki Nine Doors, kick through some security detail, and while this isn't an arrest warrant, definitely isn't a good sign, I'll say that, but we got a bunch of information to cover here, so without further ado, Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided Monday as part of a federal trafficking investigation, according to law enforcement. The raid was made by DHS in the Holmby Hills area of Los Angeles, with federal agents pictured coming out of the home with boxes and bags of evidence, including electronics. Miami home, owned by record label boss Diddy, yes, real name Sean Combs. What? I didn't know. I had no idea. It was also raided Monday as part of the same operation, federal sources confirmed. So yeah, he was running a bi-coastal, and that's not the only time bi is going to be entering into this story. Trafficking op? That's what's being alleged here. Like I said, this is all allegations because these are very serious allegations, but as we've kind of been hearing, it's like, well, are they so much allegations or just, spoilers as to what we're going to be dealing with later? Law enforcement sources told the Post the feds moved in because they wanted to seize the 54-year-old Diddy's phones and computers. Why now? What makes now the most opportune time? They also claimed there would be further raids planned on homes associated with the Mogul in New York. That makes a lot of sense, and Chicago. Okay. Views from over Diddy's LA home showed DHS agents conducting the raid with a number of people who left the house being detained. Yeah, a bunch of people were there. As you can see, there's a couple of screenshots. I can't make out exactly who that is, but there's three people, at least four people looking to be in custody right there, but somebody who is conspicuous with their absence at either location, well, we have a positive ID on that individual, but we'll be waiting for that one. I need to reveal that a little bit later. At least three people, a woman and two men, appeared to be apprehended by agents, according to footage from TMZ. Diddy's sons, 30-year-old Justin and 25-year-old King, he's not going to grow up with a complex, were both seen cuffed by officers, although it's unclear if they were taken into custody. Yeah, exactly. Getting cuffs slapped on you and the feds kicking open your front door doesn't necessarily mean that you've been arrested in connection, but it's really not a sign of good things to come. The LA home was owned by a division of Diddy's record empire, Bad Boy Entertainment, yes, and one of his daughters, Fox reported. Diddy's whereabouts is unknown. Yeah, I guess we can probably draw a couple of conclusions based on some ancillary information, but before that, what's been the response of people that's out there? Well, I think 50 Cent, who has had a lot of beef with Diddy back years, decades at this point, came out with the hot take. Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. Oof. Not quite on the same level as his Floyd Mayweather roasts, but it's probably going to stick for a little while. They don't come like that unless they got a case. Yeah, I mean, a search warrant, the barrier, or rather the bar in order to procure one of those is a lot lower than an arrest, let alone a conviction. But in situations like this where there's smoke, there is kind of fire, so Fiddy might have something on this one. And Andrew Tate posting some, let's just say, innocuous tweets out there. I was invited to all those parties and said no, which, yeah, being the most Googled individual on earth in 2022 and them really trying hard to make something stick. Now, when it comes to the rings that the likes of Diddy have been alleged to be running, and, a certain Epstein that's out there, and, other ones from the entertainment world like Dan Schneider, Nickelodeon, those getting blown up, and we can't forget the guy right up there at the top that really kicked all of this stuff off, and Harvey Weinstein. It's very weird how now all of a sudden it's open season on these very open secrets. Not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just wondering the timing of it all. And I guess, like, potentially, if you're under investigation by DHS, which I have no idea what that's like because I don't conduct any of this nefarious stuff, nor do I rub shoulders with these individuals. But Diddy would have known something that was up. He probably would have either got a tip off or he would have got a formal explanation that, hey, we're looking to come through your place. Is there anything that's going to be untowards? How's the security going to be looking on the days of March 24th through 26th? Say, because as disgusting as a lot of these crimes are, they're still allegations, by the way, very serious ones and very believable ones, but there are high-powered individuals. There are big players in multiple different venues, so of course they're going to get a certain amount of treatment. I'm just wondering if the clients or the victims or anything like that alleged in this scenario are going to get that same type of treatment that other people, as previously named before, also got that as well. But like we said when we were going through the article, there were a bunch of people. There were a bunch of people arrested, a bunch of things happening at the LA and Miami residence. You had armed officers storming the gates, snatching people up, including Diddy's kids. But what about Diddy himself? Well, if you were doing a little bit of reading ahead on that one, hours before, or at the same time it appears that the Miami residence was being raided, Diddy is seen on video pacing around the Miami airport after the raids on both homes. Oh, what's he doing at the airport? Well, we can't confirm. No eyewitness reports can say for certain, but I don't know if a guy's private jet decides to, chart a massive flight seemingly out of nowhere to either Cape Verde or Antigua. I do believe those are the two places that they are thinking that this flight is going. And you take a look at the extradition treaties that are signed between those places in the United States, and you realize that, none of them exist. So it's just a big coincidence, right? But Sean Diddy Combs' private jet has left the United States. The music executive's Gulfstream G650 took off earlier today from Van Nuys Airport near Los Angeles, shortly before the raid on Diddy's home by Homeland Security, and has now landed at the airstrip in Barbuda. Okay, Diddy is under federal investigation for the reasons that we explained before. But as you could see, that's where it's ultimately heading. But look at the flight or rather the pattern on that one. It's going from LA. It seems to be missing Miami. So if we're led to believe the sterling reporting from TMZ, Diddy in Miami, unless he caught a separate flight somewhere else. I would imagine if you're under investigation, you're probably also having your movements monitored as well. So the fact that the flight path doesn't go through Miami probably leads everybody to believe that, okay, his private jet is moving. But who's moving on that? Because if he was in Miami, his jet didn't go to Miami, at least on that trip. That could change by the time that you guys see this video as new evidence and new information comes to light. But as I surmised when we were covering the Cassie stuff, that was a couple of months ago. Was that at the end of 2023? Can't quite remember. It's been a minute since I've talked about this. But some of the more salacious claims, those have been circulating for a while. And while I thought that it was, very possible that this was a chick who was trying to clear her name, secure one final bag, and try to, push off all of her poor decision making off to somebody else in order to say that I was victimized and try to rewrite history in order to paint it as she wasn't a willing participant trying to get up in the music industry. This is really, if the allegations are to be believed. I'm not one to normally jump to conclusions, but let's go ahead and try to paint a fuller picture on this one. This is just the face of the types of rings that are run in entertainment industries. Harvey Weinstein, obviously the most prominent face when it came to Hollywood and film production. Obviously, he got taken down, but are those rings still running? You goddamn well better believe it. When it came to kid stuff, you got Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider. Now in the music business, of course, we got Diddy over here, and then in the politics realm, I think everybody knows about a guy with an island who is running the exact same stuff. These rings, and that's why I find just the timing on all of these imploding in a relatively short period of time in the grander context of the operating times for these things, it's just, why now? I'm happy that it's happening and that we can finally take this stuff, this legitimately disgusting stuff, unlike the shit that's being piled at the feet of Andrew Tate, who, is a nothing at all like these individuals. Were they afforded the time to go ahead and get their ducks in a row so that they can go ahead and, pass off the reins to the next person? You take the fall for a minute in order to make the people authorizing the arrests look good during an election year. I'm just wondering, I'm just spitballing, because people who are in the know about Diddy, because before all of the stuff with the Cassie situation broke, kind of had a decent reputation outside of the people that would just have sideways glances when it came to the Tupac situation and then the retaliation against Biggie. Diddy had been around forever. He'd been a star producer in the hip-hop world, and he was one of those people that were very much, looped in. He was in the know. Then to just see the veneer fall like that off of one Me Too looking lawsuit, in order for it to right now be accused of him to be, trying to escape charges by the end of the year, it's all very interesting, and it's something that I will definitely be paying attention to. Not just for the sheer justice side of things, but it's also piquing my curiosity quite a bit. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.